These are my inner thoughts on how I talk to myself, and I'm hoping to reach the audience that also is trying to nurture themselves this way. I'm feeling really relieved about posting my first video, growing into my authenticity, and I just have this pull to take an unconventional path. And it keeps unfolding into new ways I wouldn't have expected. And I was talking with a friend last night about this, and I think it was probably in the summertime I decided to do The Artist's Way. And if you haven't checked out that book, it is a way to just access your creativity, your creative self. And I've really struggled with stepping into that. I was in school for a really long time, and I think one of the traumas of being in school for so long is I was working on one identity for such a long time. And now I'm ready to step into a different version of myself, like my true self. And that's what I want this process to be all about, is who is April? Who is April? Who are you? Right? And maybe some of my own insights about myself run parallel to your life. And a few years ago, 3.5 years ago, I got sober from alcohol, and it was out of control, I would say. You know, I wasn't drinking every day or anything, but that's not necessarily a qualifier to have a substance use disorder, right? And so it took me a long time, and then I just got so tired, and I just completely surrendered to it. It was a poison for me. It was toxic. I mean, it is. It really is. The spirit that I was exhibiting, or the spirit that was taking over me while under the influence of alcohol, and even when I wasn't intoxicated, I I didn't like the person, the version that I was. That took so long, and I feel like once I finally realized my value, it was when I gave up alcohol. I haven't drank since October 8th, 2022. And I feel like it's taken a couple of years to actually just get stable, get used to just not having that as a crutch. And sobriety has changed my life. You won't regret sobriety if you are thinking about it. So I think that was the first time I was starting to allow myself to be seen. I was starting to see myself, and through that process, now I'll be 4 years sober in October, and I never thought that I would be here. I have started a business, and my business is going so well, and I attribute that to my sobriety. I don't think that without being sober, I would be doing as well in that way. And I've been able to go on vacations, and that's one of the things I also really enjoy, is exploring culture and getting to know different people and exploring places and just learning. And I thought that I would never be able to travel without alcohol. I know it sounds so silly, but I didn't think that I would be able to have a fun time without it. In fact, that goes toward a lot of things in my life. I have needed alcohol to make friends, keep friends. Now, granted, I am still on this journey of the relationship with myself, and that is the most important thing to me right now, is the relationship with me. And what that looks like, the quality of this relationship with me, the quality of my relationship with myself is it's still unfolding. And I've been a journaler for years. I'm looking at like 5 or 6 journals in front of me, and then behind me I have about 10 journals, and that is just from the last most of that is from the last 2 years. I really amped up my journaling and getting to know myself. Sometimes I'm really processing some deep stuff. And, looking back at my journals in the past, one of the things, so I've been on the self love journey for a very long time, and now I'm finally allowing myself to be seen. And this is a little scary. This is scarier. One of the things I used to write down in my journal is, I love you, April. I love you. I just needed to hear myself tell myself that, because I think also, in addition to the wound of not being able to be seen, it was that I was unlovable. Since giving up alcohol, I really genuinely love myself. I love myself so much that I never want to put myself through that amount of just internal pain. Sobriety is difficult at times. There are times when I miss alcohol, if I'm completely honest. It was a friend to me. It was. We had a lot of good times and a lot of bad times. And now I'm here showing up just raw. And even the way that I'm speaking right now just feels so grounded and peaceful. And I want to show more of that to the world. I want to help people, access their own voice and their own power, because I have found a lot of power in my own voice in the last almost 4 years. And, it started many, many years ago, but my process has been very slow. April's pace has been slow. And, I'm just learning to welcome that more and more every day. We're all going at our own pace, and we have our own rhythms. And that's what makes us all have different things different gifts. Sobriety means a lot to me, and it's been probably the biggest thing in my life that has gotten me here right now. And I'm hoping to reach an audience that also has maybe struggled in that way too, and you're not alone. So if you're still here right now, I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a beautiful day. And yeah, thanks for being here. Bye.